Okay, hi. My name's Jim. I am a teacher in Maryland, and I'm doing this video because many of you are trying to do distance learning and remote learning for the first time, and I want to encourage you and say, "Yay, go do it!" And I'm somebody who has been doing like video enhanced lessons for a little while now. And I am someone that wants who does it in a very simple way. I'm definitely not an expert in this field, but I have some suggestions from things that I've learned over the past couple of years. I mean, flipped learning or video learning, and that might be helpful to some people. Um, a couple of things is it's really weird to sit in a room and talk to yourself. So the first one is to talk slowly. Okay, so if you feel like you're talking at a normal speed, slow down. The second one is to make sure you pause because your students actually can't process your text and your writing at the same time. So you need to like stop and then let them write, just like you would in the classroom. And see, normally you're watching the students and you could see like how fast or how slow they're taking it in and they give you cues, but sitting and talking at a computer you don't get those cues. You should almost have to visualize what a student would look like watching your video, which is really complicated and hard to do. The last piece that I have here that's really simple is that like Khan is your friend, okay, as in like the conic IE ND. There we go. FRIEND. I can spell. Khan is your friend, as in like the Khan Academy guy. Um, because see, here's something that I learned: is you don't need to reinvent the wheel here. The closer you can replicate like what's done in Khan Academy, probably the better, at least in the early going, because your students use Khan Academy when they don't understand you. Okay, so like if you lost them during a lesson or they're trying to do their homework and they can't remember how to do it, they will go back and they will look in Khan Academy. So they already know that platform and they understand how he teaches and how he makes sense of stuff, even though he's like dry toast when he talks. Um, it's actually pretty effective and you don't have to teach them how to do this. So if you look, like I've pretty much tried to emulate the Khan thing here because it feels familiar to them and it doesn't feel like it's like something completely new. They trust that platform, and by almost like a transitive property, they'll trust what you're doing. Now, I went back and looked at what Khan did when in his early days because he was running this whole thing on the cheap. And I actually pulled together like many of the supplies that he used, and it's pretty simple and straightforward. The writing here is done on a Wacom tablet stylus or tablet with a stylus. The one that I have is a bamboo. I don't even know if they make that anymore, but it's pretty old at this point, but it's pretty effective and pretty useful. It gets a little weird, like looking at your screen and writing somewhere else, but once you get used to it, you get a little bit better at it. Um, the two major pieces of software that I use are a thing called Sketchbook and another thing called Screencast-O-Matic. Now I'm going to like refresh the screen here, and when I come back, you're going to see like what it looks like from my side. Okay, so this is what the console looks from my side. This is the Autodesk Sketchbook. I think I'm like using like version 4 or something like that. You can like pick your own pens and all that. It took me a while to figure out what I was comfortable with. And then I just write here because this is where the students are seeing is just this black piece. They're not seeing the whole apparatus. I've shrunk my recording window to just record that. And the other thing that like is pretty common for me to do is I'll come over here and I'll grab different colors. So let's say I'm making a graph and I want to be able to talk about where does the blue line and the red line intersect and what is that point. And that allows me to have a little bit of color in the game. Okay, So it's really not that complicated. I like the Screencast-O-Matic thing. There is a free version which runs fine, no big deal. There you can work with that. The other thing though is that I'll explain why I actually pay the upcharge for the more professional version of Screencast-O-Matic, which is like $15. It's like not huge. I don't know what it costs today, but it's pretty cheap. But we'll get there. Another thing that I like to do from time to time is I'll use things like, hey, here's Geometry Sketchpad, and we can draw a polygon there. So if your district has GSP, awesome. It's a great tool for kind of distance learning here. I'm also a big fan of Desmos, right? So like Desmos, you can throw in there. And one of the nice things about Desmos is that like you can do x squared plus y squared equals, let's say, 9. All right, and it'll graph things that are even like non-functional, which is awesome. So go Desmos, and it does give you some control points that like you can move stuff around in and measure and do all that kind of stuff. So that's a great tool for online assisting. I know that TI makes some great, wonderful emulators. There's a cheap thing. If you're a little tech savvy, you can come up with Wabbit. Wabbit basically steals the operating system from TI. It puts it in an emulator, and you can work with this thing like right on your screen. So if you Google Wabbit, you should be able to find like a TI emulator and how to install it pretty simply. Okay. So let me get at why do I pay the upcharge for the professional version of Screencast-O-Matic. See, the free version will let you like record only off of your microphone, but the more expensive version will actually
all these.
see. There you go. That's me, one of my videos, right? Will actually allow you to record
There.
the sound
Now
that the computer's
something
making,
that we're
right?
ultimately
So that's kind of neat.
going
Don't go
to
pirating
accept
movies this way,
without proof,
okay?
but
Because
it's
that's
pretty
not fair to the creatives
easy
out
to
there. But
grasp if you see
I'm
it.
going to stop me.
So
All
I'm
right,
going
so
to
you don't have to
need
hear me anymore. But that's one of the reasons for the upcharge on the Screencast-O-Matic. So there it is. I'm in Screencast-O-Matic 234, which I probably should update, but I'm lazy and all that. So Sketchbook, Screencast-O-Matic, you pretty much got what you need, right? Remember, like what your students are seeing, if I can do this, is only this part. So anyway, I'm Jim. I'm going to give you my work email. I know this is kind of a dangerous thing to do, but let's do it anyway. Here's James Beam at gfs.org. So if you have like questions for me about what I'm doing here, I'd be glad to answer them for you. So I'm going to go throw this up on YouTube now, and I'll probably share it on Facebook and hope that it gets to some of you with just some of my plotting along about how to make this all work while our whole world and nation is trying to teach students remotely. I don't know if this helps, but at least it gives you an idea of how someone who's been doing it for a while does it. All right? Thanks.